Hello and welcome to my tutorial for creating a usable teleporter in WebLive. This means that you'll have a spot on your map, which when the player clicks on a look and use trigger near it, it'll move them to a separate location on your map which you've defined. So first thing you do is open your map. I've just made a subtracted space with a light and start location for this tutorial. And you want to show the actor class browser and find triggers and place a look and use trigger on the map. So open up the properties for it. And for testing, I like to, under advanced, set this be hidden property to be false, which makes it so that this little icon here is actually visible while we're testing the map. So since I don't have it attached to anything, we'll have to see where to click, so I like to set that. Next, under events, you want to set this event property to be something meaningful. So for this tutorial, we'll call it teleporter. This value will be referenced later from a scripted sequence. So that's all you have to do for the look and use trigger. Next, we need to place a location where we want to teleport the player to. This could actually be any actor that you've placed on the map, but for this location, and if you want to make an arbitrary point, it would make sense to use key point and look target. So place that on the map, open up its properties, and do the same thing with be hidden, set it to false so that we can make sure that we've teleported at the right spots so that we can see it. And then under the events, you want to set the tag to something meaningful. We could leave it default for this tutorial, or well, I'll call it destination. And this value will also be referenced later in the scripted sequence. Remember, this is the tag and not the event for the look target. Next, we want to place a scripted sequence, which is in the actor class browser under keypoint, AI script, scripted sequence, and we're going to use a scripted trigger. So right-click on the map and place that, and open its properties. And head to the AI script portion of this actor, and place an action by hitting this add button. The first action wants to be a wait for event. So under the drop down, look for action, wait for event, and select it, and hit new. This action is going to wait for the look and use triggered event. So we want to type the name of it under this property here, the external event attached to the action, and we called it teleporter, I believe. I could have called it teleport, I don't remember. Okay, it's teleporter. It would make more sense to call it teleport, but that's okay. Anyway, next we want to place another action after this one, and this will be the action that tells us where to teleport. So under the drop down, select teleport to point. Hit new, and under the destination tag field, we're going to type the tag of the look target actor that we placed previously, which was destination. The Boolean place spawn effect, it's not important for the tutorial, but that's an option if you're interested in using it. And for the last action, we want to make it so that this trigger can be used more than once. As it is now, you would use it, it would teleport you, but then it would be unusable after that point. So we're going to place an action. What was it? Go to action. So select it from the drop down, hit new, and then the action number here determines where in this sequence of actions we want to go once we get to this action. So if we leave it as 0, it'll pop us right back to the top one, which was the wait for event action. So it'll put us back into the state where we're waiting for the event from this look and use trigger. So this is all set up, you don't need to do anything else. So we can save this and test it. And clicking on the look and use trigger should move us to the look target. So here we are. That's where we're going to want to teleport to. So we click here, and we're there. And we can do it again because we set up that third action, and it works. We can do it as many times as we want. It probably doesn't make sense if you're attaching the look and use trigger to something like a button, if you could hit it from all the way over here. You can fix that really easily by just changing a property in the look and use trigger. And that is this range property. If we set it to something like 50, that would probably make more sense for a button, which could perhaps be placed in an elevator. And then clicking on it would move you up to a floor or something. Yeah, so back here it doesn't work, still doesn't work, and then up here it does. And that's all for this tutorial. Thank you very much for listening.